Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Top 10 coming to you live, at least for those of you who are joining us at the $10 and above Patron. I am one of your hosts. I am the Outlaw John Rocha.
And I am Matt Knost. We're excited to be doing another live show this week. So thank you to everybody that's joining us already in the stream and in the chat. We love seeing you guys. So please chime in often because every once and again you guys rifle in the best possible comment or example. And it bolsters arguments on occasion.
Yeah.
It helps settle things.
Only when Matt agrees with you, though. It only settles things when Matt agrees with you. We've
which
seen
seems to happen more often than not. They seem to side with sanity. They sit down and they center themselves and they say, what is the most logical choice here? And that's where they end up.
Okay.
Did you see the news from Netflix this morning?
No, what happened? I've been so busy running around. I'm here in LA doing a bunch of stuff, and it's just kind of like my brain's flying off. What's going on? What happened?
Tiger King season 2 is somehow coming.
What? Isn't he in jail?
How can they do he's in jail, and they're promising it's just as crazy as season 1. How?
What?
How is that possible? They had a decade, and who knows how much time to go back and mine the past for that show. So how in the past 18 months has enough when everybody's locked down?
Right.
There are new revelations. Yeah. Is it just opens and Carol Baskin is picking her teeth with her dead husband's bones? That's
allegedly.
But where could it possibly go? I'm pretty sure the hyperbole of my statement indemnifies us from any real kind of lawsuit.
I hope so. But yeah, because what do you do? Do you interview him in jail? He's been trying to get, remember, he tried to get pardoned by Trump. So
yeah,
if they're coming out with a Tiger King season 2, have they already had cameras following this fool in prison, his travails? Did they get access to interview him throughout? And of course, Carol Baskin hasn't left the news with her Dancing with the Stars ship, and then she ended up winning the court case, so she got that Tiger King plot of land, and I think she shut everything down. So what are we exploring here, I wonder?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Will they replicate my favorite scene from the last one, where this one he's playing like a game of cards in prison?
Yeah.
And it's no longer cigarettes. I don't know what they bet. Packets of ramen. And he goes all in and then loses, and I am never going to financially recover from this, which was my favorite when he is in the office.
Man.
Predictive nature of that. I almost got, there's a guy on Cameo in Vegas that does Tiger King. He looks like him, and he sounds well enough like him. And I almost sent it to a friend of mine because he goes to Vegas all the time, basically. Just out of nowhere to be like, hey, I set up, there's a friend of mine out in Vegas. I think you two should go gambling together type of thing. And then he just gets the cameo. But I don't have the slide. I read that and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, who? What? Yeah, there's just so many questions. Sense. I don't know how the fuck you do this.
Right. Honestly, where do you go with this? How does this make any sense? What's the end result of all of this? And the thing that was unique about this series is it felt like a one-off. So it has that kind of magic of being a one-off. Yeah. Plus the pandemic was going on. And look, the pandemic is still going on, obviously, but it's not at the levels that it was. We were all shut away in our houses. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more people out on the roads and going out to public places now than ever before. Look at all the sports stadiums, for God's sakes. So than before the pandemic, rather. And so I don't think they're going to catch lightning in a bottle again with a season 2. No way are the ratings going to be the same. No way are the whole uniqueness of it all is now kind of going to get ruined by having a season 2. They did that stupid Joel McHale special, 45-minute Tiger King special, which gave you absolutely nothing. Nothing. It gave you nothing. So why would you do a season 2? I don't know.
Well, and then the fact that there's been 2 shows in production about this?
Yeah, 2 movies. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Or 2 movies, rather. Nick Cage is set to play. Whether or not those actually ever start, who the hell knows?
Right.
More than likely not, because this is, where's the demand right now?
Right, exactly. For 2? What the fuck are
for
you
two,
talking
and then for two, and then now a second season of this.
Yeah.
I just don't, guys. You had lightning in a bottle. There's no point in releasing it and trying to catch it again.
Right, exactly.
But I just read that and so many questions, none of which will ever be answered. It's nowhere. It's never going to be as good because that season one, I guess at this point.
Yeah.
Episode 1 ends and you're like, well, this can't get any crazier. And then episode 2 ends and you're like, well, this can't get any crazier, and just continues to do that. And not in a hyperbolic fashion. It built up all these crazy individuals or eccentric individuals. However you want to view it, over and over and over again. There was a lot of backstory there. But anyway, so what are you doing in LA?
We're here. The Lady Outlaw has to work at where she works at. They wouldn't let her work from home anymore fully, so she's got to come up 3 days a week. And so last week she had a really tough time sleeping. She had a hard time getting used to this place that she's staying at. And through the kindness of one of her family members, she's letting us stay in her house free of charge in Brentwood, which is close to UCLA. It's about 20 minutes, so it's not too bad. Surface streets. So she asked me to come up this week with her, just kind of try it out and see if I can do what I can do from here while she does what she does, and just keep her company. So it's been a heck of a transition. I'll tell you this right now, because you're so used to a rhythm and a pattern, and I don't have my system set up in the same way. And I also have to respect, what they have, because this is the childhood home of the lady who's letting us use it as we stay here. So that's what we're doing. So I'm trying it out. I'm just trying it out for the next 3 days, and then we're driving back. Well, next 2 days, I guess. We're driving back Friday night after we hang out with them. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I've been going around seeing people, catching up with people, having meetings and stuff like that. So I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it every week. I think every other week is fine, but her situation might change. Knock on wood. We don't know yet. So we'll see down the road what happens. But yeah, that's what I'm doing in LA. Yeah. It's a nice house too. No complaints. Brentwood's a nice area.
Brentwood's a beautiful area.
Yeah. I mean, we're in Mandible Canyon, so just kind of hanging out in the other area of Brentwood.
I'd have to see it on a map. I don't know all the canyon names. So
there you go.
It's a good name though.
Yeah, I like the name.
But I do like the name.
I took some calls out in the backyard of the nice leather couch, so that was nice. It was a nice little experience. So I was like, "This is not. You can get used to this, for God's sake." So, yeah. What's going on? with you?
Just that drive.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. Sometimes it's fine. Sometimes it's a killer for no fucking reason.
We drove at night, and I think that's what helped us out. We got here, really easily in 2 hours. We spend the time quickly. Time goes by fast. And going back, but if she was to do it every day, it'd just be too much, man. It'd just be crazy too much. Apparently, there are people who do it though, Matt, every day driving from LA to San Diego and back. God love those people, because I don't know what time you have at night to have to yourself. Like you just get right back in bed and go to sleep, right?
Yeah, it's none, because you're hitting traffic unless you're leaving crazy early before everything. Although the direction of traffic from here down there is mostly the opposite until you get closer to there, and then it's like LA. Yeah. People drive into LA, they drive into San Diego, but the gap in between, like you're still gonna hit shit though.
Yeah, she left at 5 o'clock. She tried this last week, left at 5 a.m. and still got there barely before she had to clock in at 8 a.m. Left San Diego at 5 a.m. barely got there before she had to clock in. So we decided to come the night before so that she could get a good night's sleep, and then can leave at a decent hour to go get there. So, and I've been taking her to work and picking her up from work as well, because I need to use the car obviously to do stuff around here. So it's not too bad though. I mean, I could get used to it if we started to make this a pattern. I'd have to really have things set up here so that I could just show up, boom, it's already ready to go. Set up the lights, boom, no big deal. So this took me a while to figure this out. So
one step at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's no point in overwhelming yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
To make 1,000 decisions that 900 don't need to be made today.
Right. See, Chris Lemke says, I'm actually on the highway driving back from AEW Grand Slam, so if this could be a 2-hour, 45-minute show, that'd be great for me. Well, it's not going to be 2 hour, 40 minutes. So sorry, Chris.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Machine gun, but stay safe out on the highway.
Yes.
I hope AEW Grand Slam was good.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have an AEW Moons Over My Hammy? Because I would go to that one.
Nice.
Yeah, no
Dad
problem.
jokes. You gotta love
the
it.
only Denny's entree I could think of off the top of my head. I always got the Grand Slam breakfast, but a friend of mine did get Moons Over My Hammy. Did they have? I'm sure they had to have other ones that had stupid names like that.
This is no joke. I'm not lying to you right now. I literally just came back from having breakfast at the Denny's on Wilshire. No lie, no
really.
lie.
Oh, dude, I haven't eaten at a Denny's in so long.
I don't know many places to go around. I didn't want to go to a bagel shop, and
that's what Yelp
those are my
old
reliables. Yeah, but I don't know these places.
There's got to be a fucking diner by you in Brentwood. There's got to be a diner by you.
There's something called the Lazy Daisy or something like that, but I don't know, man. I don't, like I know what I'm getting at IHOP or Denny's. At least I know what I'm getting. With other places, I'm like,
yes, very true.
I'm a creature of habit. Sadly, I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah, I would. Denny's would be a last resort. That's in an area where there's nothing else open, and I'd be like, all right, well, I guess I'll go to Denny's.
No, okay.
I just ate there a lot. I know what I'm getting at Denny's. When it comes to diner food, yes, because it doesn't take long to find another diner that makes better food. Yeah, so I'll be snotty about a diner. I got zero problem with that because this one is just as greasy, or actually, it's greasier because of there's just a million. I love diners, so
me too, man. Me too.
It's the best. It's just like, what do I feel like I can get it?
But you should do a whole sketch of you as Charles Bronson going to a diner. Just do a whole sketch. We'll put it up on the channel. It'll be perfect.
I don't think I can pull off the mustache.
Come on.
Don't think I can do it. That's a strong mustache game he's got.
You call those scrambled?
Hey. I want to turn his head up. What is this? That's a sketch for no one. That is the least watched sketch put up that has the quote or tag of sketch in it. But yeah, that's funny. This week I've been taking a tree stump out of the ground, so that's fun.
Wow, no.
Yeah.
That is so much work, dude.
Well,
Jesus.
It'd be one thing if it was softwood, but it's not.
No.
I mean, it's a beautiful trunk. Once you get into it, the I guess you would say the flesh of it is red and pink and with like black accents. It's fucking gorgeous. Yeah. But it is hard as a rock. And it takes for fucking ever. It is ridiculous. So yes, I've done that 2 days this week, and I will finally finish it tomorrow.
Now, you're digging around it. Are you going to use your truck to yank it?
No.
Wench or anything like that? No. Okay.
I dug around it, and then I got a chainsaw, so I have to cut off the exterior roots to grow out, and then you have to take the trunk and cut across in it.
Yeah. Okay.
So you cross cut it, and then you take a wedge and you drive the wedge in between and just wrench it out. But the problem is the way this tree grows is from the trunk, it has these massive one root almost from each quadrant that I cut off, which I didn't know until I cut down through the trunk. So I've taken out 3 of 4, and I have to now dig even further to get down and really pull out this root. But the sawing through it takes so fucking long. I'm just sitting there. I went out and bought a slightly more powerful one because I got this old chainsaw. And even that, it takes, I'm not kidding, fucking forever. Considering I've been doing this for 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So the cross cut across the top took a total of maybe 6 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Because it's just slowly chipping out centimeter by centimeter or millimeter by millimeter, and it's just you're just sitting there holding it slowly but surely going through and having to take a break every 15-20 minutes. It's fucking
wow.
Yeah. 2 of my neighbors stopped me yesterday and they're like, I can't believe the amount of work this is taking you. And I'm like, I appreciate that you've walked past a couple times today and you stopped on how many ever this is and lauded me for sitting out in 90 some odd degree heat to get this fucking thing, because I got to get it torn out to put in some cactuses, because once
Right.
the season changes, you're not really supposed to replant them, and we're right on the cusp. But this needs to be
Oh,
fucking done right now
wow.
because they go dormant come wintertime. So
Right.
it needs to be done. And so I will have it fucking done tomorrow. Good times. Good times. First chainsaw I bought as a replacement didn't work, so I had to drive the next morning and go and take it back. It's like there's 2 hours or an hour and a half of driving there back, dealing with returns.
Oh, no thanks.
Yep.
No thanks.
It's all right though. It'll be out. And
Yeah.
my mom's trying to give me encouragement. It's like, you one job at a time. You check it off. Think how much better you're going to feel afterwards. I'm like, while true, this is not fun.
Also, you and I are different. You're just one of those dudes that likes to do it himself. I mean, you can hire somebody, but you want to do it yourself.
I could,
would
but if
hire
I can do the
somebody
job, might as well
comfortably
do
do
it
something.
myself. Why pay somebody to do something I can do? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
But there are other things where just like I can't do it, or I know I don't have the patience for it.
Uh-huh.
Like the exterior of the house will need to be repainted. I don't think I'm going to do that one.
Oh my God. That's a lot of work.
Because what if do you have to sand it down first? I'm not sanding
Right.
down an entire fucking house.
It depends, right? Exactly. My girlfriend's been I don't know if you watch the house renovation shows or whatever. She's been watching this one. It's on Peacock, and it's these people who renovate chateaus in France because they get them at like dirt cheap prices because they're just broken down and they've been around for a long time, and they're on sale, and they're like in the middle of nowhere. And so it's this English couple, and apparently there are 5 fucking seasons of this show because they go and find other couples who are redoing chateaus or large residences that are centuries old or whatever. And the amount of work this guy had to paint the chateau, the entire chateau on the outside, sanding it took 3 months. Sanding the entire fucking thing,
I believe it.
3 months, and then they could start to paint. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What life is like? You're waking up every day, bro, and you're going out on a fucking ladder and you're just gonna,
Oh, dude. When we repainted our kitchen, I had to sand the ceiling because we have all wood walls everywhere.
Oh, yeah, right.
Just to fix some imperfections and then go in and take off because it had a lacquer on top of it to take that down so we could actually paint onto it. And that in and of itself took a couple days, waking up and being like, I have 8 hours if I'm cheating myself.
Yeah.
But probably like 10 or 11 hours of sanding today.
My God.
Yeah. It's just like, no, this is not going to be fun. Because some of it you can use, an orbital sander or other things. And others you got to get in there with your hand and just slowly fucking etch it down. Yeah. Not fun.
Yeah.
Not fun.
I just was blown away.
But you do feel at the end of it, you're like, I did that. And I did.
Sure. More power to all of you who feel that way about stuff. I would gladly hire a motherfucker to do it for me while I sit and watch TV. Got no problem with it. Got no problem. Or working on other things. I could not do that shit. I'm not built for that manual labor. No, it's just not my thing. Just not my thing. Building shit though, that I can do. You set a bunch of furniture out. You set a bunch of things out in an entire house. I will race you to build everything room to room to room to room beyond that house before anybody else. That I love to do, but the manual labor nonsense, it's just not for me, man.
That's another form of manual labor.
True, but it's one I can do, and I feel confident I can do it.
My dad is a garden yard guy.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
but I hate that.
Oh, you do?
I hate gardening and being out in the yard and doing that crap. Because it was a punishment as a kid. When I got in trouble, you got to go weed. I had to mow the lawn as a kid.
Right.
Just all that shit. Now I'm just like, no, this is punishment each and every time. I hate it now.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing this tree stump because it's just like, boom, I put cactuses and thankfully a cactus, you don't have to do all that much for.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm fine with that kind of yard work. If you can just fucking Ron Popeil and set it and forget it.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. Sure. Let me move on to the next thing. I don't want to have to constantly be cutting this and manicuring and pulling weeds, and the upkeep is beyond frustrating.
It's insane.
Yeah. No
Lemke says he's in the middle of a full remodel of art downstairs, which is why I left for New York for a wrestling show for 2 days. That makes sense.
It also feels like he's justifying why he went to AEW Grand Slam. It's
You're
okay,
right.
Lemke. You like what you like, buddy.
Left
I
his
don't even
poor
know what
wife.
AEW Grand Slam is. I know what AEW is, but I'm sure
Right.
it's just one of their big events, obviously, because it's called Grand Slam.
Yeah, it is. Ruby Soho took on Dr. Britt Baker for the title. Apparently
You could have made up
good
2
match.
names. Ruby Soho and Doctor Who?
Dr. Britt Baker. She's a dentist. She's a legitimate dentist who became a professional wrestler. She's now the champion, the female champion.
That's a terrible name. Dr. Brent Baker.
Britt. She's a
doesn't
woman.
help it. Britt Baker. It does, yeah. But I hope it was fun. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a spectacle in and of itself.
I watched some of the matches this morning, and I'll be watching some more later for the wrestling show I do on my channel. But yeah, fun stuff. So shout out to you, Lemke.
What's your wrestling show's name?
Strong Style, which is an homage to the Japanese style of professional wrestling, which is brutal shots, power shots that are this close to being real. So if you've watched any Strong Style matches, you're just shocked at the kind of abuse a body can take with these Japanese wrestlers. It is rough. So,
never seen it. All right.
Yeah, since we're doling out the hard hits on our show, that's what we call it, Strong Style. There you go. Yeah, it was at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. That's where it was at.
Okay.
About that.
Wow.
What an interesting place to hold. Yeah. What an interesting place to hold a AEW tournament or night of matches. So yeah, very interesting stuff. What else is going on besides the tree stump? Is that it? Is that all that's going on?
Well, for this week. Next week it moves on to something else.
Who did you follow up our incredible episode of Settle the Score? Who followed up? Who did you possibly get for an act?
They'll never stack up.
The three of us. Thank you.
I apologize for having you dangle in the wind that long before I saved you, because you're right. It's, everyone pales in comparison to the sun.
Thank you. The Geek Buddies.
Two comedian friends of mine.
Oh, cool. All right, cool.
Jeremiah Watkins and a guy named Razzle.
Razzle Dazzle.
Razzle.
Respect.
But
Matthew Simmons wants to know what you're drinking, Matt.
Just a fizzy water. That's all I'm drinking. Carbonated water with some essence of blood orange or whatever the fuck they put in there. It's blood orange flavor.
Nice.
Oh, you say nice? Well, it's Vaughn's brand, so you know what I mean.
Okay. All right.
It's the same as any other, but I like that one and bubbly blackberry. Those are my two favorites. So depending on which is the best, yeah. Whoever has the best price, that's what I buy between the two, and that's what I like those two. I'll drink others, but that's only if they don't have either of those two. So there you go. That's what I'm drinking.
I respect it. Matt, have you seen the trailer for this new show La Brea on NBC?
Looks terrible, doesn't it?
I mean, what? I don't know why we're still doing these kinds of shows. That's a 1980s show, maybe early 90s at best. Are we really trying to pitch an idea that somehow a hole is created in Los Angeles, and at the bottom of the hole is the prehistoric age world that still exists? So we're basically validating the girl that I dated, that there is people at the Earth's core, and that blows my mind. I should have written a show about this. Clearly,
as soon as I saw it, I was like, it looks like bad Lost. Like they're trying to recapture the magic of Lost.
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah. As soon as I saw it, I was like, this looks really stupid. I don't even know what this is about, and this looks really stupid. Who knows?
Yeah,
it's network television. I don't even know who they make it for, except for old people that don't stream. But everybody streams now, as far as I know.
Yeah,
like everybody in my family, and I don't know if anybody owns terrestrial legitimately within my family or cable. They just pick and choose whatever they stream. So it's just crazy talk to me. But I also saw. Did you see the trailer? They're bringing back CSI.
Yes, I saw that a few days ago.
But I saw it was on Twitter, and they're like, "Here's a promo for the new CSI," and I was like, "Oh,
right."
So Grissom is back. All right.
Yes.
But it's
And-
just the new lead, and she's talking to it, and it's like two camera describing the characters and the setting and all
Right.
that. It is one of the strangest promos you'll ever see.
It's CSI Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're bringing back Grissom and Georgia Fox.
And
I
Georgia
think
Fox, the
right?
girl, the one with the little gap in her
Yes.
two top
Yeah.
teeth.
Yeah. Let me see here.
If you can find that, watch that on your own time. It's weird the way she describes it, because it's almost like she's fourth personing it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but she talks about like how it represents real America and the interaction between her character and like Georgia Fox, and it's so strange.
Is it a black actress who's the lead?
Yes.
Paula. Okay, so it's Paula Newsome, who was, I think she was the one in Barry, in season 1 of Barry, the cop.
Oh,
Am I
okay.
wrong? Yes, it is Detective Janice Moss. Yes, she's the one that was the one that was investigating Barry in the first season. So yeah, I remember her absolutely.
The show could be good. I just felt that this as a promotion seems so strange. She feels detached while being part of the project as she describes it.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Interesting.
I guess because there's so many different streaming options that everything is going to be rebooted, because the amount of intellectual property that can cut through the chatter and potentially grab eyeballs, you gotta try everything at this point.
I'm gonna give it a shot, because I never watched SVU. Like, I tried to watch SVU, but it was the Law and Order show that I just did not like. Didn't gravitate to it. Didn't connect to it. I guess because the sexual stuff really makes me uncomfortable. Like, to know that there are people out there doing that kind of shit, it's just really uncomfortable for me. So I never really kind of connected to that one. But I did try the Christopher Maloney one because an extension of SVU, and that was not good. Yeah. That was not good. Not good. So, but I'm going to try this one. I've watched maybe one episode or two episodes of CSI my entire life, so because I had a couple of friends that were on it. So maybe I'll try the CSI Vegas show. Does this mean that I've crossed some kind of line, Matt, where I'm the old person they're making shows for? No. And unconsciously, I don't know that has happened to me.
That would be you if you are just jacked today that they're bringing this back. And you're not. You're like, it's another show. I'll give exactly. Oh my God. Oh, but somebody out there today is flipping out. They are. They're happy that Billy Peterson, old Billy Peterson, is circling back. Just super jacked. Yeah, I don't think so. I will genuinely say the CSI, when it first came out, I watched it. Maybe the first couple seasons, I thought it was really good for a procedural. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But then I never watched NCIS and CSI Miami and all the rest, because it just became the formula I didn't care for as much.
Right. It's like Chicago on NBC. Everything Chicago.
Yeah.
Everything Chicago. Yeah.
And Law and Order, I stopped. I watched that with my mom once it made it to reruns after its first like 8 years, but I haven't watched it in so long.
Yeah.
But Dick Wolf, keep getting that check, buddy.
And no shit. Plus, I mean, you figure William Peterson was probably like, you know what? I need something. I'm kind of hanging out here. I've built all I can build. Let me I pulled out all the tree stumps. Let me go and do something else, for God's sakes. I feel like that's what he did.
And I'd like to do something again and get paid a decent amount for it.
Yeah.
So to bring him back, I got zero problem with him and Georgia Fox or the woman in the lead. I just felt the promo was so strange.
Yeah. He hasn't done anything since 2015 when he had that series, which I don't even remember. Manhattan. Do you remember that series?
I'd have to know what it was about. That doesn't just jump off the page to me.
In 1943, in Los Alamos, New Mexico, a team of government scientists is working on the top secret Manhattan project.
Yeah. There was 2 of those shows that came out roughly around the same time.
Okay.
One of the 2 leads is the new lead in The Lost Symbol.
Oh, okay. Fucking Rachel Brosnahan was one of the leads on this one. Wow.
Yeah, pretty sure there was 2 roughly at the same time.
David Harbour had 10 episodes on this. Interesting. Okay. All right. It's Michael Churns. Oh, you know what I saw last night? Can I recommend it?
What?
Cop Shop. Can I tell you? I know there's still a group of us that are Gerard Butler fans who go see everything Gerard Butler does. This was excellent, directed by Joe Carnahan, starring Frank Grillo,
Mm-hmm.
and Gerard Butler and Toby Huss of all people. Toby Huss as this psycho hitman as part of the crew of people. Also, I want to give it also the top actress. They made this young black actress the lead. What's her name here? Alexis Louder. Alexis Louder
Okay.
is the lead in this one, and she was on Watchmen for a few episodes as well. But she was fucking great in this movie as the lead, and all these other dudes doing their brilliant film, fun. One of those Saturday afternoon fucking man movies with a bunch of shoot 'em up shit. It was great, so I recommend it highly.
Cop Shop.
Cop Shop.
Cop Shop. There you go. Lemke, if you're driving somewhere safe, maybe when we're done, just throw in the first 30 minutes of Cop Shop.
Just do it. Find it and go watch it. Anyway, we've done 30 minutes of banner. We better get to our show here.
Probably so.
Yeah. Today we're doing let's see if we get this right. The top 10 characters that joined a franchise after the first movie. That's the name of the show. And Matt and I were talking or texting before the show, making sure that we were on the same page about characters. So it could be a character who came in the second movie, then was never seen again, or a character that's come in the second or third or fourth movie and has gone on a run. Actually, anytime they could show up, I guess.
It doesn't matter. They can be a recurring character or they can be a one-off.
Yeah.
Personally, I excluded because what you sent in the text, I didn't want to tip my hand. I excluded villains.
Oh, wow. That's a random thing to exclude, but okay.
Well, in my head, I know. Well, A, it made the list a little bit smaller, so I was happy about that.
Okay.
But B, to me, is like characters. Once you add in the potential of recurring, then there was like only one bad guy that I consider. But they change a bad guy every time. So that's to be expected for me. Whereas characters that you were surprised that made an addition and came back for numerous or could come back or you'd love to see come back, that to me, I was trying to focus on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas villain is just like, well, of course I know that there's going to be a villain coming.
Right.
I didn't anticipate this, or it was better than what the movie poster showed me. They were on it, but just to see this character be fully realized sometimes is pretty fantastic. So but we didn't set that stipulation.
We didn't.
No, that's just what I did for myself.
I think I only have a couple of those on my list. So
yeah,
totally fine.
There was like 3 or 4 potentially, but then I was like, well, villain. Sometimes the villain is the best part. I could do this for.
Yeah.
So many different. I was like, fuck it. I'm just not going to do villains.
Okay.
With one basically slight exception, and you'll hear it pretty quickly.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So we're going to break it all down. Before we start, Matt, do you mind if I go get my fan? It's getting hot in here. I'm going to go get my
problem.
fan.
Yeah, I got
Give
AC going today.
30 seconds. All right.
Thankfully, it's not as warm today as it has been over the past 3 days. This is what, a couple days ago, it was mid upper 70s is beautiful. And then Tuesday, my car said it was 102. It's like, we need to get through this bullshit weather, which is what happens out here in the fall time. You get these fluctuations. We'll get the random Halloween, and Halloween roughly around that time, almost guaranteed to have a 100-degree day in there somewhere. And the few days leading up to Halloween and the few days after, guaranteed. Every year. I think last year was the first year in maybe a decade it hadn't happened.
Much better. Much better. Thank you.
All right, you ready? I was literally talking about the weather.
All right, let's do it. What do we got?
What do we got? So I do some, he does some, and then we combine the list between the two of us.
Basically, that's the life.
At 10 is, my villain. I've got another that's kind of quasi, but you can go the other way. But Mini-Me.
Oh, nice one. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. Austin Powers too. Well, because think of how massive a cultural phenomenon Mini-Me was. I mean, Vern Troyer became instantly famous.
Yeah, true. Good
instantly. Point. And I, like almost everybody else, loved that character. Thought it was a great addition to the overall cast. It perfectly complemented what they already had. in Dr. Evil. And I was like, this was an amazing addition to this series. You managed to basically grow the cast without growing the cast. Which sometimes, happens is they keep picking up characters and it just becomes this big bloated production type of thing. Where to add, a side character that still complements the main villain as a miniature clone of himself, because he didn't have a son. He didn't feel his son stacked up to the measurements that he wanted from his son. He wasn't evil enough, but he wanted to love him, and that push and pull, and then he creates Mini-Me. Just so fantastic. And I was like, he's not really a villain. I've got another one of those on my list. Which is like, he's not really a villain. Yes, he's Dr. Evil's the villain, but Fern Troyer, his representation just, he's there to support his friend.
Yeah, especially in the third movie, he kind of swings over to Austin's side with Michael Caine's help. So
I have refused to watch the third one.
What? The third one is funny as shit.
Really? I have heard nothing but basically this was the start of Love Guru run, it all went downhill here, and I didn't see Love Guru. It's just like Cat in the Hat. I've only seen bits and pieces of.
Ooh, those two are horrific. No lie.
Yeah, I Love Guru. I couldn't do. I saw the trailer and I was like, no.
Yeah.
This is not happening.
It's so weird. I don't know if I've ever seen an interview where he explains why he stopped. Like, what happened with Love Guru? I mean, plenty of comedians. I mean, Eddie Murphy's fucking resume is littered with terrible comedies, but he still keeps doing it. And he just signed a 3-picture deal with Amazon Prime to create 3 new fucking comedies for that channel or that streaming service. So, why did he
to
stop?
America and Dolomite? Or Dolomite was Netflix, wasn't it?
It was Netflix. Yeah. So.
It makes sense because he still has appeal and draw. Thank you.
Of course he does. Yeah. That's why I'm shocked by Mike Myers stopping after Love Guru, man. Shit. People liked him.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to come up with some sort of rationale beyond he didn't want to do it anymore or didn't like getting the criticism for something that he created, which is like, you know what, I'm good. I've made a bunch of stuff that's really excellent. Between Shrek and Austin Powers that people will continue to watch and remember and love.
True.
I imagine he'll come back at some point.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean,
it's
he's
inevitable.
done small bit parts in other things, and of course, he did that fucking Super Bowl commercial, which was rough to watch. Whoa,
it's a Super Bowl commercial.
Him and Dana look like a bunch of old men in cosplay as their younger characters. That was rough, dude.
It was. I didn't enjoy seeing it.
No,
but
the makeup.
Simultaneously, I was like, hopefully you guys made a good chunk of change and it was an easy couple of days work and who gives a shit.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair too.
It's like, do you ultimately care? No.
Right.
That's why the former taboo of big actors not doing commercials and bands not giving their songs for commercials and stuff. And eventually everybody went, who cares?
Yeah, right. Nobody cares. Bob Dylan showing up on commercials. Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. Ultimately, it's just like it doesn't. It doesn't, lessen your legacy. It doesn't tarnish anything.
Right. You sell out.
Yeah, it could be great. I mean, what is it? George Clooney with all those coffee commercials that don't air here, apparently. But they list on his IMDb. It's crazy. They do. You can go look, and his actor in, is it Nespresso? He's doing some.
What?
You never heard about that? Go look on his IMDb. It's some coffee company. My guess is he owns part of it, but the commercials get listed as his credits because I guess maybe they qualify as short movies or something.
You talking about Clooney? You talking about Clooney? I've seen the Nespresso commercials, but I know he was credited on
his IMDb, 100%.
As actor or as producer?
As well, okay, that I don't know, but I want to say as actor.
I don't see it under actor. Let me see. Maybe under producer. Interesting. Well, whatever. You said you saw it, so it's there. Maybe as self.
Quite possibly.
Self.
That's 295 credits. Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's too many. Never mind. It's moving
on. Maybe I'm crazy, but I 1,000% remember seeing that on his IMDb page at some point.
What's your 9? Let's move on to there.
Yeah, let's move on to there.
Mhm.
My number 9 is Sirius Black for Harry Potter.
Dude, talk about a final cut. I was so close with Sirius. You know what? Why don't I just do that? All right, it's my number 8. I'm gonna drop my other one that I thought that I was gonna put there as a kind of maybe a feeling about the villain thing, and I will put it at number 8. I was gonna put it that high anyway, and then I cut it out. So I'm gonna do it just for us to have something in common. So yeah, Sirius Black, great choice, man.
I think we'll have other stuff in common.
We'll see. We'll see, man.
We'll have differences for sure, but we'll
Don't put that pressure on me, man.
I think we're good.
Go ahead, Sirius Black.
So he's part of the movie in the transition of when I think you and I and most adults really got into the series, and the fact that he was recurring thereafter, but he gives Harry something that you can finally identify with, a sense of family and love and belonging, even though that he's creating that with, his friends at Hogwarts and the professors and whatnot, and they're trying to be, the community that he lacks.
Yeah.
To see someone actually that has a more tangible connection to his past and that he can talk to and ask questions of and lean on, really opened the heart to the series. And I think had they not pulled that off so well in Gary Oldman's performance as Sirius, I don't know that series would have opened up for me necessarily as well, and to where I was looking forward to the next iterations of the movies coming out because I enjoyed my time. Before that, it was like, it was fun.
Yeah.
And it was better than your average, movie geared towards this age range.
Yeah.
And I think watchable, but this is the part of the transition to something that various ages can really identify with.
I agree. Alfonso Cuarón coming in as a how can I say this? A more mature director than Chris Columbus, to bring a little more darkness, a little more reality, a little more of that transition time from being a young kid to being a young adult, where you start to, have those sexual feelings. You start to be more aware of maybe the crimes or the uncomfortable stuff that your parents do in their lives. You start to be more aware. The things you're reading in your classes start to have a little more of a mature exploration of the existentialism of life and death. So perfect to bring him in at this time for these characters and these actors. And although David Thewlis was great, Timothy Spall was great, it was Gary Oldman. And you're right, it was the Sirius Black character that really challenged you, because, we all have that black sheep in the family type thing. And to have him be possibly a murderous wizard and all this kind of thing, and have him be kind of banished to this kind of narrative, and then have him turn that narrative around as the film goes along and become this kind of pseudo father figure for Harry after the death of his dad, was great. And him coming back, and then what happens to him later on in the series is such a powerful loss for the character of Harry. So yeah, he's great. And arguably the greatest character outside the lead characters of the franchise throughout, Dumbledore and Sirius, Snape, those are the three that kind of battle, I think, overall.
And I didn't want to include any of this professor shows up for this point, because that then falls into the villain thing of, well, of course they're going to have new professors at this point. That's how they introduce a new character without gloating or bloating the cast. I mean, I thought about Brendan Gleeson from Mad Eye Moody.
Yep.
But I was like, I still think Sirius gives more of, what connects me to Harry a little bit more. And I thought about, if I was going to go villain, I would have gone with, Beatrix Bellestrange?
Oh, yeah, Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah.
Right. She's great.
She's great.
Beatrix. Yeah.
But the other characters have a little bit more depth. Well, at least Sirius's character has more depth.
Yes. Well, and she persists throughout the series. So
she does.
Could have been an interesting choice for sure. Yeah.
There were others, but I was like, you know what? I'm good with Sirius. So that's my number 9.
Do you think they'll ever reboot it, like down the road?
Eventually, or add to it, like wipe this Crimes of Grindelwald crap away and just have another different story.
What do you think about the new title? They released that yesterday. Did you see that?
No, what is it? I'm not gonna like it.
The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Oh.
So everyone's like, wait a minute. I thought this was Newt Scamander's story. Now we're just going to move to make a Dumbledore. And are
Newt
we going
Scamander
to...
isn't generating $1 billion at the box office.
Exactly. And then the other side of this is, if we're saying, and Michael Vogel, who's from Geek Buddies and everything like that, but like Michael's gay, and Michael said, look, J.K. Rowling came out and said Dumbledore was gay after she wrote the books and shit. So if they do a Secrets of Dumbledore and he's not gay in the thing, and that's not one of his secrets, then this is a fucking shit title, and I think there'll be many riots from.
Oh yeah, I assume that's what they're partially setting up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, what's your 8, man?
My 8 is Jessie from Toy Story.
That's my 10. No bullshit. Great. Oh, we got another thing coming. Nice. Great character.
Yeah, excellent character. I thought about Ken from Toy Story 3.
Oh yeah, Ken's good too. Yeah,
but Jessie, once again, has more heart, has more of an arc, is in more of the movies, just has a bigger part. So I went with Jessie. But the idea of Ken being so excited because he can do fashion shows for somebody, I love that as an idea. Like finally someone gets me. Oh my God, what about this? Just they both have they share the same loves.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jessie, I mean, to see another toy's heartbreak then through her eyes.
Oh, woof, man.
Yeah. And as she then becomes one of the glue individuals that are the glue that try and hold this group together as the story progresses over and over and over. And then I guess if they did a 5, she is now leading along with Buzz.
Right.
And they go off and they no more Woody type of thing.
Right.
Although I don't know how you do Tom Hanks.
Maybe Woody parachutes in for part of the adventure, but not like fully. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
him and Bo Peep.
Oh, Bo Peep, right. Yeah, him and Bo Peep. Yeah. For a section of the movie. Yeah. That's possible. Yeah, I mean, I love it because, I mean, Joan Allen is one of these not Joan Allen, sorry, Joan Cusack is one of these actresses that never seems to get enough love outside of the people who like actors. You know, she is so versatile and so funny, and arguably has worked longer than John and has been consistently bookable longer than John. John had a run, but no one's going out to see John Cusack movies anymore. But you go see Joan Cusack in like School of Rock, or you go see Joan Cusack in the Toy Story movies. And her voiceover work here as Jessie is just incredible. And they make such great use of her in that second movie, as you said, the heartbreak and all that. And then her desire to trap Woody so that she's not gotten rid of anymore. You understand that motivation. And then in the third movie, you pair her with Buzz. So in essence, you introduce a romance into the movie that's really interesting. In the fourth movie, that still persists throughout, and she's kind of doing what she's doing and organizing them to go and do the things they need to do. So it's a great character. And she does such a fantastic job. And it's a good balance to the male Woody to have essentially a female Woody, which is Jessie. And it's great.
Yeah. And I also think she's more bookable because she doesn't but expect to be lead. So that's she can pop around and do, Shameless for a while and then still shoot this movie or do a voiceover here.
Yeah.
I think John needs to be top of the call sheet, or at least did for a long time.
That's ridiculous. No offense, John.
If you get used to it, he started as a young age. He's been a star since the age of what?
Yeah.
17, 18?
Yeah, I think probably around there. Let's say anything.
It's kind of to be expected. That's what you've known your whole life.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. He could work more.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll get to that point. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my 8. You're 10. So what do you have at 9?
9 is Harry Jones Jr. Or Harry Jones Sr., rather. Harry Jones Sr.
That's called a punt.
Henry Jones Sr. is a punt? All right.
Of course that's a punt. What are we talking about here?
We're talking about one movie. That's what we're talking about. All right.
Pretty amazing one movie. One of the best one movies you're ever going to fucking see.
Whoa. So then my 8, we already said was Sirius Black. So what's your 7, man?
My 7 is Black Panther and Captain America Civil War.
That is a punt.
Okay.
Yeah. 7.
Lucky number 7.
Did you hit yourself with a stump? 7. Ridiculous. All right,
Lucky
what's
number
your
7.
6?
6 is Zeus from Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh, Samuel Jackson.
Sam Jackson.
All right, go ahead, my man. Nice choice.
To finally really pair him up with somebody as opposed to across a walkie-talkie or whatnot, but he's pretty much doing it on his own. And the way the two of them are introduced, where he has to go down into, John McClane does, into Harlem, wear a sign.
Wearing the sign. Yeah.
And Zeus and his two, they're his sons. Mm-hmm. And the sons come and tell him, and he walks out and is like, you got to leave. You got to go. This isn't good. He's not siding with them. But at the same time, he's like, I'm still a human being. He's like, we may have our differences, which we clearly do, but this is not wise for you. And they have to slowly explain as they build chemistry. I think to him, it's the perfect kind of tete-a-tete for McClane's character, just somebody who will snap back at him, when need be, type of thing, as opposed to cowing from the fact that he's so amazing at all this other stuff. You know, he's handling all this action and craziness without batting. He's still batting an eye, but it doesn't seem to be phasing him. We're churning through this. Yeah. So in real life, it'd be easy to be in awe of somebody like that keeps getting you through these amazing scrapes.
It's true.
But it's true. Character-wise, like, you need someone kind of to battle with him and butt heads and create attention and help bring certain skills to the equation overall. I like it because after the second one, I liked the second one. I was looking forward to the third one, and I was pleasantly surprised. I like it. I think on par, maybe a little bit better than the second one. I know most people, it's clearly 1, 3, 2.
Yes, it is.
But I enjoyed it. I was so looking forward to it. I was still young enough. It was an amazing action film then, and it still holds a lot of weight with me now. But I realize it's got flaws.
3 or 2?
2. Oh, okay. So I'm saying, for the argument of 3 over 2, I get it.
Right.
They're very close to me, but nostalgia plays a big part. But yes, so I chose Sam Jackson's Zeus.
It's a good choice.
In Die Hard with a Vengeance, but it is a one-off. I try to skew
I
more towards recurrings, but one-offs are fun.
They are. Okay, that was your 6.
Yep.
Right?
What's your 7?
Okay. My 7 is Michael B. Jordan in Creed. Because that, you can argue, is still the Rocky franchise. Because Sylvester Stallone is in the movie as Rocky Balboa. So it's still all connected. And so Michael B. Jordan, he revitalized the Rocky franchise, coming in with this character right as the lead character of that franchise is, doddering off into old age. Here comes some new blood, and it worked, and it works in the second movie as well, and it'll work in the third movie, I imagine. But yeah, to me, that's connected. That's a whole franchise. Rocky Balboa. Balboa's still the producer. Stallone's still the producer. It's still done in the same studio auspices.
Look at all this justification for this bullshit answer you got.
It's not a bullshit answer. It's totally
really
valid.
Seems like it. When you gotta back it up with pre-rebuttal.
Oh, okay.
It just seems like I didn't realize we were picking our favorite new lead in a series.
That's not. We said character to join the franchise after the first movie, and this is still the franchise, and that character is joining the franchise after the first movie.
I think it's a subset of the franchise type. It's its own franchise because it's Creed, but it's part of the Rocky universe.
No, Rocky Balboa's in it, so it's not like they went off and put it in the same universe, but had no characters from Rocky in it. They literally put the main guy in that movie, so that makes it part of the franchise. And even people say that my favorite Rocky movies, even now, people say Creed is in their top 3 of favorite Rocky movies.
I know. I'm just breaking your balls for no reason because you came with pre-rebuttal, so that means you're defensive from the moment. And
I was, I just wanted to make sure.
Why not just go ahead? You know what? You worked on those rebuttals. I'll give you a little. I'll give you a chance to air out the argument you've already had in your head.
Put it together. See if you can win me over. Right, exactly. But yeah. I almost put Drag out because of the fact that he was in the 4th one and he comes back in Creed 2. Because that is the name. More than Mr. T, I think maybe even sometimes more than Apollo, people have a thing about Drago, man.
Well, because he was built up and he's the face of communism and he's this
Yeah.
indestructible force type of thing.
Yeah.
It's great. I thought about it once. I said no villains. I cut him out.
Right. Fair.
Uh,
Well, there you go. That's my 7.
yep. All right. What do you got at 6?
My 6 is The Rock in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Okay. I knew it was coming. So please
Yes.
take the floor. I'm actually going to pee real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you need to pee? That's usually where you go. Yeah, The Rock, absolutely. The Rock totally is. He came in the 5th movie, totally revitalized that franchise. I'm telling you right now, people don't remember, but Fast and Furious, after that second one was kind of, and Vin Diesel didn't want to come back for the 3rd one, which is why they did Tokyo Drift and have him in one scene. Then they did that 4th one, and it was like, and it was going straight to DVD. And then boom, The Rock came in and completely revitalized that franchise. Brought new life, new blood, was a very interesting character as Hobbs, and all the things that he does, going toe-to-toe with Toretto, hassling that crew. It absolutely put a whole new spin on the franchise, and it gave us someone else to cheer for in the franchise that has a little more weight, a lot more weight and cachet, and is a way more interesting character than Toretto. And so that's why I think The Rock deserves to be here. I mean, and then he was so good that he's able to spin it off into his own series with Hobbs and Shaw. So for me, that's where it really comes down to. He was able to come in and have an effect on the franchise in a positive way, and then spin off and even start his own thing with another member of the franchise with Hobbs and Shaw, and even go toe-to-toe verbally on social media with the lead of the franchise. So that speaks volumes about the guy. I'm really surprised he didn't make my top 5, but in the end, I put him where he fits. I mean, he was one of the first names I thought of, but I couldn't quite put him in the top 5. So there you go.
All right. Well, there are our bottom 5s. We're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back with you. All right. Welcome back. Thank you for listening to that sponsor advertisement right there. And jumping back in, my number 5 is, it's a small part.
Okay.
But the Grandmaster in Thor Ragnarok. Jeff Goldblum is amazing.
Go ahead.
Yes. Is amazing in such a tiny part. Think about it. It basically just plays space Jeff Goldblum.
Yes,
and it
true.
Really works. For some reason, the character starts DJing out of nowhere.
Yes.
The I pardon you, and then fucking emulsifies the guy. And he's like, just it's all the subtle little things. When he's talking to that New Zealand actress who plays his like lead henchman. And
Rachel
he's like,
House,
what did I say about her? Scrapper, whatever the fuck, the Valkyrie's name is in this world. It's not the Valkyrie.
Right. Scrapper 1, 2, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, whatever the number is, Scrapper, that she's a drunken buffoon. That's not what I said. That is not. Just looking at her like, what? No. I was saying you're the best. You're my favorite. Why would you say? All these small, subtle little things that shouldn't exist within a superhero movie works perfectly for a guy that's created this world for himself in this gladiatorial arena, and he's basically the emperor of trash world. For that, I thought about Korg as well.
Korg would be a nice choice,
but Grandmaster to me was more of the idea of casting Jeff Goldblum. How much of this did you write for him, and how much in the script you just put Jeff Goldblum stuff parenthetically? He says this in a Jeff Goldblum-y kind of way.
Let him run with this.
Yeah, he's got space right here to run. So that's why I think I would love to see him come back. It's an easy character to keep bringing back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the Collector is another one like that where you keep bringing back. But I would love to see Grandmaster a whole lot more. So that's my 5.
Matthew Simmons says, I was hoping Valkyrie would be on your list, Matt, but I'll take the Grandmaster. LOL.
Well, we saw Valkyrie again for sure. So she definitely has made more than one appearance. There's a lot of good choices in that movie.
Agreed.
for additions to the cast. But there you go. That's who I chose was Grandmaster.
Okay. All right. So my number 5 is also a one-off, and that would be Robert De Niro as Vito Corleone in Godfather Part 2.
It's not a new character, though.
Is it though? Isn't it though?
Not,
Isn't it though?
It's really not.
Isn't it though?
It's really not.
I mean, I feel
I thought
like,
about it too, and I was like, "What? Who from The Godfather?" And I was like, "Well, De Niro was the only obvious choice." And I was like, "He's playing Corleone, so."
I feel like you're pushing the issue here. I feel like you're shooting me down here.
No, the other one I have zero problem with. I think
Okay.
you're correct in your assessment of Creed. Creed counts.
Right.
I didn't go for leads, but Creed counts.
All right, so I'll change.
It's fine, dude. If you want De Niro's Corleone in there,
here's what I'll throw.
That is your choice.
Ricardo Montalban's Khan in The Wrath of Khan. That is a great character to throw into the franchise. Certainly a top 5 character. I put it in parentheses. I was like, if he doesn't take this, Khan. So absolutely Khan.
It's your list. You want to keep Corleone on there? It is your list. You can do whatever you want.
Jason's very upset. Definitely not a new character.
I mean, I think Jason is correct, but that's neither here nor there. It's your list.
That's fine. Khan is the choice here at number 4. Ricardo Montalban. What a legendary character. Still, people would say, arguably, Wrath of Khan is still the greatest Star Trek film ever made. Arguably, Khan is the greatest villain ever in the history of Star Trek. And although it was originally a character in Space Seed in the original series, it wasn't a character that appeared in the first movie. So to me, it still qualifies as a character that's being introduced.
Yeah, we're talking about movies.
Yeah, we're talking about movies. So it works in that way. And it's still, I mean, I recently rewatched it again the other day for about an hour, and he's so great. Plus, as a Latino actor, a Latino character, although he's not playing a Latino character, but a Latino actor playing this part was just such a groundbreaking thing in 1982. And to see it still endure in 2021, still have a legacy in 2021, that matters, and that means something. And so for me, it's a movie I go back to all the time, and a character that completely every other movie has had to measure up to Khan ever since. And there's a reason for that, because he's such a great fucking character, and that storyline is great as well. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're Druids, definitely not. Suck my eggs. Never mind. I'm not gonna get upset. All right. What's your 3?
My 3, or my 4 rather.
I'm sorry. What's your 4?
Is
oh wait, that was my 5, right? That was my 5. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. What's
my 4 is Furiosa from Fury Road.
Oh, good choice. Imperator Furiosa. That is a fucking great choice.
Because if we're still calling him Mad Max, then Mad Max is still, this is another story in the Mad Max saga type of thing.
Yeah.
So she's a great character. I mean, Emertan Joe, if I'm going villains.
Oh, yeah.
I probably, I think he outshines, but he's also such an over-the-top character that it's easy to kind of outshine. And in that regard of who's more emblazoned on your memory from that. Well, it's like that character got to chew the scenery of everything he touched.
Yeah.
So it perfectly fit within the world, so it didn't stand out. So of course they're going to be a brighter star, so to speak. But Furiosa, to shift the gaze of the movie and really focus on her story and how that's part of this overall apocalyptic landscape, via the introduction of Mad Max himself, to bring, once he stumbles into this civilizations, whatever you want to call it, encampment, village, whatever the fuck, to give Mad Max, I think to some degree, more heart, even though I'm saying that a lot today, than it's had in the series before, because it's been so focused on the loner. In Thunderdome, they start to show a little bit of that as like he's with the kids and whatnot, and then going back to Bartertown. But this one really opens it up, and you see the humanity of the situation more so, as opposed to just the scrapes that are going on, like in Road Warrior 2, where it's about energy and gas, which is also part of the story. I'm not knocking it for it, just to take it in a different vein in this one, to create more of a human face as to what these problems would look like. Excellent addition.
Yeah, I thought it's a great choice, dude. Love Imperator Furiosa. Love Charlize Theron in the role. Certainly a new character to be introduced in the franchise, and brilliant, absolutely. And you could argue the lead of the film.
Yeah,
You could really
you
argue that
could.
she's actually the lead of the film. I'm sad they're going backwards with her and casting Anya Taylor-Joy as her, because I don't see that connection at all in any way, shape, or form. But they're doing what they can do here, and we'll see how that plays out. But it should have been Charlize. Just keep going with Charlize. I don't know what the problem is. Create a fucking offshoot and make it about a Furiosa, Fury of the Gods or whatever. People would go see that. So going backwards just doesn't make sense to me in any way, shape, or form. Other than a studio going, we need a younger version so we can do multiple.
Yeah, so we can do 3 of these if they're successful, maybe 4. And they can create their own apocalyptic universe to rival Marvel and everything else.
Well, why don't we take a look at Anya Taylor-Joy's box office, and let's look at Charlize Theron's box office, and we'll compare who should have been going forward. But what do I know?
Sure, but she's on the come up, and Charlize has been around, so it's not really a fair fight if you're going to do that. But she's the new it girl. She's getting cast and everything right now.
She is. She really is. Yeah, that's for sure.
So
and she's doing great work. So I got no complaints about her as an actress. I'm just saying. I would have liked to have seen Charlize do a few more installments of this franchise.
Yeah,
myself personally.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have chosen her for this, but I'll wait to see the end product before I, prejudge.
Sure. All right, so then my number 4 is Gollum, because and specifically Circus as Gollum, because we only get that one little.
Yeah, I'm not counting that. I agree with you. That doesn't fucking count. The characters that I didn't even think of that. I thought about Theoden from Rohan and Eowyn, and I was trying to think of others. I didn't even consider Gollum because he's not really in the first one.
Right, he's not really in the first one.
Totally didn't even think about that. Great choice.
Thanks, man. Yeah, he's fully in the second one going forward, and I know some of you who are listening to us know my feelings about the Lord of the Rings movies, but there are some really great things in these movies, and Gollum is number 1. And I grew up on those animated ones where that was a creepy fucking character in those films, in the Hobbit. In the Lord of the Rings films. So to see it come to life in a way that was a bit of an homage to the animated version of Gollum, but also it's very much its own thing in live action, was incredible to experience. And so Andy Serkis deserves so much credit for what he was able to do in creating that character as mocap, and to absolutely catapult motion capture as a respectful, possibly Oscar-nominated acting performance or possibility for actors, I think was great. And so the guy's made a living out of doing these things now over the last few years in multiple franchises, so he deserves so much credit. But this is Smeagol / Gollum, that whole opening, that whole transition, and then getting all the things that he goes through in the series is just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And into The Hobbit, too.
And that was your number 4?
Yep, my number 4.
Okay. Just so you know, I just put Gollum at number 4 on my list, and Mini-Me is now bumped off the bottom.
Okay, fair enough.
I can't believe I didn't think of it. Although there's so many franchises I knew going into this, it's like, I'm going to fuck up somewhere.
Yeah, me too, dude. I can't tell you how many. Yeah. I mean, I just spent so much time. That's why when I texted you, I was like, no, I have 2 separate lists, and I was like, this is an honorable mentions. It was crazy. All right, so what's your 3, bro?
My 3 is the punt from earlier, Henry Jones.
Okay.
In The Last Crusade.
Please.
After having seen 1 and 2, the idea of giving Indy a co-pilot, it's like, I don't know if I want that. And then to see the end result, product of it, it is stellar acting, casting. They wrote the character, interplay between the 2 of them brilliantly. You get great development as to why there's this division between the 2 of them. And they do it in such small ways when they're on the Zeppelin and whatnot, talking about, you weren't around much. You were more concerned with this, the Grail and all that. It's like, I taught you this, this, and this. And I taught you to be self-reliant and to grow, to see the give and take, the back and forth, and how at first Henry Jones is kind of aghast at all the violence, and to see that it's a means to an end and it's not overt and vulgar, that they're
Right.
doing it to stop Nazis, to keep artifacts out of his hands, and the idea that, oh my God, my son grew up to do something I would love to have done. He's become something that I'm so proud of, and still maintains like he's a professor like I was, but he's willing to go out and find these artifacts, like on that the journey out of the canyon itself, and they ride off into the sunset. The stories that he must ask about him. What else
Yeah.
have you done? What else?
Right.
And to recount Temple of Doom, or I found the 10 Commandments. How
Right.
much his mind would have been blown.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, I wanted as many indie movies as I could get. So the idea of like giving him a Robin, just I didn't want. And then see, in the end, it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't disagree with you. Obviously, because it's on my list as well. I just put him a little bit lower because it's the third film. He's got a part, and it's certainly a very effective part. But these other characters, I feel like, affected the franchise more because there's not really much mention of Henry after the third one into the next one, and I imagine they won't. I don't know if they'll mention anything about him in the fifth one, but like I totally respect people wanting to put it high up on your list. Such a great character. Sean Connery did such a fantastic job. And you're right. Who can go toe-to-toe, going side by side in an Icons movie, in the third movie? Mm-hmm. That's not easy to do, man. And so he does just incredible work. And as you've mentioned many times, that scene where he says his full name, he says Indiana.
Yeah, cuts through the chatter of the violence.
Exactly. That's a father-son scene that is classic in cinema, man. Just the way he says it.
Yeah.
And that's why you cast someone like Sean.
The shift from, I'm not talking down to you. I'm trying to get your attention because I love you.
Right.
And I care.
Exactly. Yep.
We may have had our differences, but is meaningless right now. Mm-hmm. Through one shift from Junior to Indiana. Wow, it's fucking great.
And also, I'm choosing you over the artifact. Your biggest complaint about our relationship was that I always chose the pursuit of the artifacts over being your father. And in this one critical moment, I am choosing to be your father over possibly losing you for a chance at that artifact. And you're trying to satisfy me by reaching for that artifact to get my love. And I'm telling you, you already have it. Yes, boom, man. Such a good moment. In one word, man. One word conveys all that. Yeah.
That's why he's at number 3. And, anyway,
son of a bitch. Yeah, all right. So my 3 is Heath Ledger's Joker.
Gotcha.
That is, I had to put him on here. I mean, he's just such an incredible addition to the franchise, and arguably, I think just like Khan, I think every Batman movie that ever stars any villain is going to be compared to the Dark Knight because of Heath Ledger's portrayal, but also the chemistry between him and Christian Bale. And Christopher Nolan's direction of that movie as well. Just in combination, it all works so well. And it's not just because Heath Ledger passed or anything like that. I think that character would be iconic whether Heath Ledger was still around or not. And because it's such a portrayal that nobody will ever forget. And it's the quintessential Joker on screen now. I don't care how many people defend Jack Nicholson. This is the quintessential Joker.
No, you could say Joaquin's, but I still think everybody prefers.
Yes. Yeah. The Heath Ledger one.
Jack's was just fun.
Mm-hmm.
And
agreed. It was perfect for the time.
Yeah. And that's what he wanted to have fun. And I think it just worked out for all involved, considering where superhero movies were at that time. There's no way Heath Ledger's Joker would have worked in 1989.
Right. Oh, no fucking way. No way.
There's supposed to be a comic book movie and action, stupid kind of frivolity.
Right.
So Joker cracking stupid jokes and whatnot makes more sense.
Right. You can't have Joker killing off his
girlfriend. You want to see a magic trick and then putting a pencil through a dude's eye socket?
Yeah.
It's like, that's never going to fly.
Ta-da!
Not when the kids are lining up to go see this movie.
Yeah.
No. Whereas by the time Dark Knight came out, be like, there have been a few in between. And
right. The public's tastes changed.
Sure.
They wanted to see these kinds of things. Okay, so what's your 2?
My deuce is Yoda.
That is my one.
I thought about others from Empire. I thought about Lando.
Oh, sure, Lando was definitely in contention until the last minute.
Thought about Boba.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, if we're not going to do villains, I'm not going to do Boba. And then I was like, oh yeah, Yoda. Well, that beats everything anyway, so there's no real discussion.
Right.
And looks like you did what I did, which is like, I'm not taking numerous from one.
I tried
series.
I tried to keep it. Which one is the most impactful, in my opinion, of that franchise that came in later? So yeah, absolutely. Yoda. I mean, everything flows from Yoda, but I mean, the second movie, he is the mentor, he is the guide, he is, the person who says there is another Skywalker in the other one, in Jedi. So there's so much that is affected in that franchise after Yoda appears in it because of Yoda, and even into the books, into the next phase of the MCU. You got Disney Star Wars. You've got the baby Yoda. So the Yoda phenomenon persists forever through Star Wars after he was introduced. So
it just became an indelible part of the entire franchise. I can't imagine the series without that character.
Yeah.
Like, you could subtract other big characters and I think it still works, but to have a sage, a mentor to help guide, Luke, but also us through the Force, the age of it, what it means, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You kind of need that to explain to all involved the stakes and what he's trying to do right now. And so it's Yoda. Still have a connection to him even now when he pops up randomly in a movie, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And through Clone Wars, through Rebels, even the recent Certain Point of View book that told from the Empire Strikes Back point of view, you got a lot of Yoda stories or appearances throughout those stories. So yeah, he's just such an incredible part of that franchise. And him and Gollum were the two that was like, bing, all right. So that's your two. My one.
So what's your
my
two?
2 is T'Challa, the punt from earlier.
Gotcha.
The Black Panther, I think, for a number of reasons, right? A, it's an incredible performance from Chadwick Boseman. B, he brings a nobility to the MCU that wasn't there before. I don't care what you say about Captain America. That's what we want to be is Captain America, but what we are is not quite Captain America. And I think Chadwick with T'Challa, I think the T'Challa character brought a sense of just regalness, and because he's a king, but also just, as I said, a nobility to it and all the things he goes through. And it changes the MCU from that point forward. The concepts are bigger. The humanity is bigger. Everything they're confronting carries more weight and resonates. It can change an entire globe. And that matters. And then to have him go forward now, into What If and the different appearances he has throughout that series, but then now going into the sequel, he will hang over the sequel. He will hang over the sequel and the MCU going forward. He has something to aspire to. Plus, the Black Panther movie is the first film from the MCU to be nominated for Best Picture. And that's a massive accomplishment that can't be ignored. Whether you agree with it or not, it can't be ignored. And one of the biggest reasons why is because of the character of T'Challa, and yes, Chadwick Boseman's performance, but the character of T'Challa and how it kind of changes things in the MCU completely.
I think the only reason I put him lower, to be perfectly honest, well, not the only reason, but the primary reason was because I knew that he was already a lead. You know what I mean? And he was going to have his own movies. So as soon as they introduced him, it's like, well, it's just like Spider-Man. I thought about Spider-Man as well, but it's like, well, Black Panther to me was a bigger introduction to the average person. But before seeing him going into it, like, I know there's a Black Panther series coming.
Right.
So
Right.
He is a new character. I thought I was cheating with kind of on some level, like subconsciously, by putting him on. It's like, then I'm going to knock him lower because I know for certain that he's going to have his own series.
Right. I hear you. Oh, well, I mean, he's introduced as a character.
And you're right.
Is that the 7th movie, 8th movie, Civil War? I can't remember, but so it's pretty far down the line.
I got to look it up.
So yeah. All right. So what's your one?
My one. So you're saying the first things you thought of, this was the first thing I thought of. It's not on
Okay.
your list,
Go ahead.
which is Leo Getz from Lethal Weapon.
That's a great choice.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So annoying at first, and then by the
Yeah.
end, you love him for it. You
Oh,
just
totally.
love him for it. Yeah, it's part of who he is, and he's a good dude. He's a little annoying, but he's a good. The fact that they keep giving him shit, but he was the first thing that I thought of when we were like, oh, characters in a series. So I was like, Leo Getz. And I think that was my introduction to Joe Pesci.
Really? Oh wow.
Well, because I was a kid,
right.
so it's not like I'm watching Raging Bull and anything else. And Home Alone comes after.
Right.
I believe.
Sit down, Matt. You're gonna watch Raging Bull.
Yeah, exactly. His early stuff is not made for me, and then after that, it's just like, well, boom, we've got Goodfellas and Casino, and I love me some Joe Pesci.
No shit.
But just okay, and explaining how the laundering works and the robes. It's free. He gets punched in the mouth, or in the nose, and he breaks his nose.
So good.
It is. It's the perfect addition. It gives them the slapstick that they really can't have.
Yeah. The subway rant alone is worth it. They fuck you at the drive-thru.
Yeah, this is how they fuck you. This is how you fuck it.
This is not tuna.
Okay.
They fuck you at the drive-thru.
But anyway, that was the first thing I thought of. So I was like, I'm going to honor that because
I respect that.
Leo Getz wins the day there.
Whatever Leo wants, Leo
gets. You get it? Okay. So annoying.
Sure, you'd want to believe that.
I know he's like, yeah, he is. He's over the top. He's doing this a lot to him.
Sure. That's what you want to believe. Yeah, and also when they go through the fucking window,
the glass into the pool.
Oh, dude, what a great that movie. So fucking good, man. All right, well, there you go. There's our separate lists there of the top 10 characters that joined the franchise after the first movie. Now we're going to put this list together, always the interesting part of the show.
We are, and we also have the patron that sent it in. Good old David Mitchell Baker. He gave us this topic.
Yeah, so DMB, I apologize for not mentioning that earlier at the beginning. That's my fault, man. I should have mentioned that. DMB was the inspiration for this choice. Yeah.
He's the meaning in our life. And we'll get to his, and we also have shout outs at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. So
yeah,
let's combine our two lists real quick.
Woo, yeah, real quick. So you say.
Well, I mean, Yoda's no-brainer number one.
Feels like, yeah. Pulling up the shout outs now.
Probably Gollum.
Okay.
And then now technically both are fours.
T'Challa is 9?
2-8.
2-8.
Otherwise, Henry Jones is 3
Henry?
what?
9.
So that.
So T'Challa seems like goes above, right? 2-8, above 3-9.
Sure.
It's not sure like you're giving me anything,
It's sure like seems like a good enough argument. All right, so I have my number one, Leo Getz.
Okay, so where are we at right now? What number are we at?
That's the top 5. I don't think we have anything else in common, do we?
Jesse.
Sirius Black.
Yeah, Jesse's. But those are the bottom, right? Near the bottom?
Yeah, well, what's your next highest? Mine's 5.
Yoda, T'Challa. Heath Ledger's Joker is my number 3.
Okay, what about after that?
Khan at 5.
Okay, since we have both our 5s, why don't we do Jesse, then Sirius Black?
What number is Jesse for you?
9.
It's my 10. Where's Sirius Black for you?
10.
That's my 8.
All right, fine.
Does the 8 elevate it? Yeah, right. Okay, cool.
All right, so now we have both our number 5s.
All right, so this is the flip for number 10?
This is the flip for 9 and 10. So who?
9 and 10. Okay, so what's your 5?
My 5 is Furiosa.
Okay, all right, let's do it. Latino versus a woman. That's a shame. All right.
You got a coin, or you want me to flip it?
No, flip it if you got it. I don't have anything here.
All right, call it in the air. 3, 2, 1.
Heads.
It is Tails.
Oh, son of a. Well, at least he made the list.
And then, okay, got it.
We ready to go?
We are good to go.
Okay. I got no bongos, so I'm going to do the best I can here. Sorry, guys. The top 10 characters that joined a franchise after the first movie, yeah. At number 10.
Khan.
Wait. At number 9.
Furiosa.
At number 8.
Jesse. Toy Story.
At number 7.
Sirius Black.
At number 6.
The Joker.
At number 5.
Leo Getz.
At number 4.
Dr. Henry Jones.
At number 3.
T'Challa.
At number 2.
Gollum.
And our number 1 character that joined the franchise after the first movie is
Yoda.
Yeah, all right. That was my Yoda. My best.
And I got David Mitchell Baker's list right here.
Let's hear it.
Says, thanks as always for choosing my topic. He had one caveat for his list. A character had to become a recurring character in the series. So no one and done appearances.
Okay.
So 10, he's got Puss in Boots, Shrek. I thought about it.
Okay.
Death from Bill and Ted.
Oh, yeah. William Sadler.
Sirius
recurring.
Black in Harry Potter.
Mhm.
Davy Jones in Pirates of the Caribbean. I thought about that.
A lot of people like that Davy Jones in the Pirates of the Caribbean. Interesting. Okay.
I just think the CGI is so incredible.
Mhm.
Black Panther T'Challa. He chose Luke Hobbs from Fast and Furious.
Oh, wow. Interesting. That's him, right? Yeah, that's Hobbs. That's the
that is. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the other Shaw, I guess.
Yeah, Shaw's the other one. Yeah.
King Theoden from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Jesse from Toy Story. Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah. But no, wait. But he's introduced in the first movie. That I don't know if that counts.
Is he in the first? I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. He just doesn't speak until the end, but he's in the first. All right.
Well, is he saying in the overall scope of the Planet of the Apes movie?
Maybe the franchise itself.
Yeah, because I couldn't tell you about the Hestons if and when Caesar pops up in those.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's talking about. Okay.
And then finally Yoda at number 1.
Yoda.
So there's his list.
Nice.
And then
nice choices.
now we're going to do shout outs real quick. This is our way of saying thank you to our patrons who support us over at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. They're the ones that have joined us in the chat today and watching the stream live. And for $5 and above at the end of the month, we will shout your name out at the end of the show as a way of saying thank you very much for supporting us. And you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. First up is Jason McDonald.
Roby.
Pele Cole.
Eric Taylor.
Deepak Maurer.
David Stefan.
Christine Biernat.
Andrew Robinson.
Francisco Ramirez.
Michael Bauer.
Colton Thompson.
Henrik Winterland.
Phil Knuckles.
Ryan Latonin.
Ray Rosh.
Colson Kouliopoulos.
Callie Onken.
Justin Kelly.
Lachlan Skinner.
Joseph Curran.
Fred Castillo.
Edward Wilshire.
J. Scotty St. Clair.
Hey, Charles J. Clark.
Zachariah Kaufman.
Jeff Dickin.
Sean Labua.
Francisco J. Torres.
Connor Teal.
Michael D. Dyke.
Robert Francisco Suarez.
Tim Reimert.
Dominic Greaves.
Eric Bruin.
Matt Simmons.
Kyle Beckworth.
Jeff Kelly.
Jeremy Bowers.
James Petty.
Nick Francis.
Billy Williams.
Christopher Brockman.
Blake Gant or Gant.
Cameron Chapman.
Alex Russell.
Bobby Michael.
Paul Cree.
What's up, Paul? Drew Burkhart.
Stacy Flores.
Luke Allison.
Mark Fawcett.
Kristen Kurtz.
Gareth Weldon.
Timothy Williams.
Chris Lemke.
Nick Baldwin.
Johanna Linaverta.
JIC 317.
DJ Red Hot Cox.
Yeah. Ahmad Ali.
Darren Bush.
Angela Dashner.
Lewis Berrigan.
Josh Lawrence.
Chelsea Lewis,
Adelardo Fuente,
Reagan Lovig,
Rodrigo Valverde III,
Lawrence Witt,
Andre Constantinescu,
Steve Schluckebeyer,
Catherine Samuels,
Houston Bodley,
Roque Orellana,
Maurice Robinson,
Alan Snuffleupagus Bennett,
Marcus Davenport,
Brandon Caridi,
Ravi Prasad,
Joe Farrelly,
Charlie McKenna,
Mark Menchaca.
Josh Mabry,
What's up, Josh? Ben Cartwright,
Josh Murphy,
Kevin Shaw,
Josh Sachs,
George Menchaca,
Dale Varley,
Chris Consiglio,
Wayne Murphy,
Ashley Prowls,
Johanna Schmidt,
Sujayanth Fernando,
Ian Brick Beltran Lopez,
Evan Zoller,
Kevin Foss,
Jen Kemp,
Ryan McKenna,
Brian Akins,
Alexander Marzonia,
Garth Wizenant,
Mike Barrington,
Ed Buskirk,
Jeff Saliba,
Noel Kelleher,
Jim Payne,
David Mitchell Baker,
Andy Ortiz,
John Keefe,
Nathan Williams,
Kristen Smith,
Matthew Lee Cravens,
Marcel Behrman,
James Trapani,
Drew Enns,
Dan Nye,
Seth Shearer,
Andrew Marker,
Chris Jones,
Luke Larson,
Chris Cabrera,
Robert Haley.
thank you, Robert, and Anthony Casanova.
All right. Thank you to everybody that supports us. We thoroughly appreciate it. We would not be here without you. And we hope you're doing well out there, staying safe. And I think that's it this week, don't you?
It is. Yeah. If you want to be a part of the Patreon, you go to patreon.com/the top10 with the number 10 there. Make sure if you're listening to us, you've been doing all the content, support us $5, $10, $15, $25, $50 even every month. Bring us back up so we can start heading out on the road and start possibly doing some of these live shows there in your town. It's your support that's going to make it possible for us to do so. And throughout the pandemic, we've given you great content. So we hope you appreciate that by supporting us and being a part of the Patreon for the cost of a coffee. Just once a month, you can support everything we're doing and have access to so many benefits here on the Patreon. Just giving a quick push for that. Matt, what do you got to plug? And let's get on out of here.
You can follow me at Matt Knost. Follow the show at Top 10 Show. And on that's on Twitter, and on Instagram and YouTube, it is / the Top 10 Podcast with the number 10. And check out Settle the Score. John was just recently on.
Yeah.
It was a good show. And go check that out. And that is it for me this week.
Absolutely. You can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. On Twitch, The Outlaw Nation on Twitch there. And, of course, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Rocha Says. See all the fun entertainment content we have there on that channel as well. All right. Much love to everybody. Take care of yourselves. Be well. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode here of the Top 10 Show.